Sahanau Gunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahe Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vidvishavahe Shanti Shanti Shanti. Good morning. As you may have noticed, the content from my classes comes from some disparate sources, from Kriya Yoga, Kundalini, Sankhya, Tantra. What all of those share in common is that there's specific things that we can do that enhance the human's ability to evolve, to transform, to exist at a higher level than the mundane way that most people move through the world. Today's class, we're going to work with a final session on the fifth chakra. And there are tons of classes out there that deal with the fifth chakra in terms of communication. And what I'd like to focus on are three other aspects of the fifth chakra. One is the name Vishuddhi comes from the term for purification. Working at this level with these techniques on the human experience, we become able to purify or transform any experience, negative or positive, into an opportunity for wisdom, for learning. So there stops being a black and white, a negative, positive, a good and bad. Second area that this chakra, that Vishuddhi works with, has to do with decay. When this chakra isn't activated or is closed, then the human is said to be in a state of decay, as opposed to when it's open, we enhance our health and well-being. I think that physiologically, part of that has to do with we stimulate both the pituitary and the thyroid in some of the practices. And then the third component that I'd like to emphasize is space. That each of the lower five chakras have to do with some component of mass and energy. And that we start with the densest form of matter and we move to the most distributed energetic level of mass as we move up. So fifth chakra is the last place where we're still interacting with any sort of physicality at all. E equals mc squared, among other things, means that mass is just really compacted energy, and energy is just really widely distributed mass. So as we work our way up, I hope that the experience is that we start to tap into the infinite source of energy, the infinite potential that exists for all of us. In any given second, the sun is burning off 4 tons of hydrogen, transforming it just like in an atom bomb, whereas an atomic bomb is just a few ounces of matter being transformed to energy. In the center of the sun, every second, there are 4 tons of hydrogen atoms being converted to pure energy. I hope that you can have that sense of accessing not only the physical part of ourselves, but that energetic, infinite potential. All right, let's go ahead and tune in. All right, so line yourself up. Line up that mass of your physical body. Feel yourself grounded downwards. Now access the energetic part of ourselves and feel the expansiveness, the drawing out, the infinite potential, the rising up as your spine and the crown of your head lifts upwards. Shift to an observational mind where we can absorb the wisdom of these experiences. Watching, learning, rather than reacting. Great, and then let's inhale to chant. Namo Guru Deva Namo. Namo Guru Deva Namo. Namo Guru Deva Namo. Great, deep inhale. Lift up on Mulband. Start working with these breath retentions as a place to find deeper and deeper relaxation. So while there is some energetic or slight physical contraction here, start to feel as much ease and peace and relaxation and expansion as you can. Go back to normal breathing. Let's start with some Kapalabhati breath. So again, feel as though you are anchored downward. Feel the sits bones, feel the sides of your legs and feet, anchored solid. Feel condensed mass, matter, unmovability down in the base of your body. And then start to feel expansion the further and further up you go. Feel your arms as a nice big V shape. Feel the fingertips reaching out and up. Feel the crown of your head expanding, expanding, expanding. Pure potentiality at the end of that expansion. Grow your fingertips into the palms of your hand and continue that expansion upwards through the thumbs. The eyes can gaze upwards, the tongue can press upwards, and go ahead and start the breath. Powerful exhale as you draw the navel up and back. Great, keep going and have your focus be on experiencing the mass energy interchange down in your lower extremities and your bottom in the most condensed state. One definition of mass is that it's resistance to movement. So feel that denseness, that solidity in the base of the body. Feel the transformation of matter into a more fluid state, into a gaseous state, and then finally up into just the sense of space. As you get up into your head, the top of your head, the hands, the space beyond the hands, feel just pure energy, feel space. And now we're going to experience that alchemical transformation in our own body. Contract the muscles, the base of the body, at Muladhara, at the mass end of ourselves, and then draw together the thumb tips overhead. Take the throat into neck lock at that energetic, that spatial end of the continuum of mass and energy. Exhale, relax. Let's limber up our spine. We'll start taking one hand across the body, the outside of the opposite thigh, and then reach the other arm up. And then we're gonna reach over to the side. And if it works for you, the hand that's on the outside of your thigh, you can use it to help pull you a little more laterally over, release, go to the other side. Let's move side to side. So it's as though your two hands are moving in opposite directions. We're trying to keep the body in a single plane, so we've got just pure side to side movement here. Just a little bit longer. Keep that upper arm directly overhead, directly over your body. Okay, we're going to add to this now for the next few repetitions. So once you're over, use your breath. Inhale into this upper quadrant of your chest, into the side of your throat, and feel additional expansion due to your breath, due to the molecules expanding further and further apart from each other. Other side. One more time, the same way. Using the breath, using that expansion, the gas component of matter, stretching, expanding. Great. And now we're going to do one more hold to each side, and we're going to take a rotation at the level of the upper chest and throat. So come into the pose, and then open your chest, open your armpit, open your throat. Stay here and breathe a few breaths. Great. Transition through center. Other side. All right, great. Come out of that. Feel around the back of your body, those two little dimples at the top of your back. That's your sacroiliac joint. And we're going to now twist side to side, but we're going to try and keep that SI joint stable. So feel like your two hip bones are pointing forward like headlights. And we're going to take our a hand to the opposite knee, and you're going to rotate your spine, but you're going to keep your hip bones pointing forward. So we're going to take any strain out of the SI joint. Probably one of the most common long-term negative side effects of a hatha yoga practice is that women especially destabilize that SI joint by cranking through that. Okay, so here we go. Hand across. Take your opposite hand back behind you. You could even hold on to your waistband or wrap around to the other side. And we're going to use our arms. Spine is passive. You're going to use the arms to twist. So from the navel point up, you're feeling your spine rotate. From the navel point down, you're feeling a counter twist through your hip bones pointing forward. Great. Release. Come through center. Let's go the other way. do your best to relax your spine so that the action of the arms is able to get the maximum amount of twist. If the muscles of the spine are contracting, and that's going to resist the ability to be able to twist. Good. Come back through center. We're going to do another round to each side. All right, last side. Great, and relax back to center. All right, we're going to do an interesting little spinal flex variation where we're flexing more the upper part of our body. So you can put your hands on the ground behind you, press down into your fingertips, and lift your chest, expand through your throat. Inhale, squeeze your shoulder blades together. And then as you exhale, feel a spot at the level of the heart, draw back. And round your spine forward, the upper spine forward. Inhale, expand. Exhale, round. Inhale, expand. Exhale, round. So limbering up the spine. Inhale tall, lift up on bund. Exhale, release. Go ahead and put your hands on the front of your knees. We're going to do the same thing, and this time as we're flexing the upper spine, we'll be able to move in and out of Jalandhara Bandha. Okay, so the inhale, your hands around your knees, lift through your chest, expand across the front of your throat. Inhale, exhale, draw back at the level of the chest. Feel the back of your head draw back and the chin tuck in. Inhale, expand. Exhale, contain. On the exhale, you can do that technique that we do with Jalandhara Bandha, where you use your elbows to push your arms straight, and your elbows, it's like they're trying to have the bend towards the middle instead of towards the outside. Each time that you exhale, feel like you are squeezing and compressing the area around the thyroid or the Adam's apple, like you're giving it a nice little squish, like you would be squeezing a sponge. And when you're at the maximum inhale, feel like that same area is being stretched and expanded, ready to absorb more. All right, nice and easy. Now, inhale, tall, straight spine. Feel that grounding, the density of mass in the low body. Feel the expansiveness as you move to a more and more energetic state, as you move up through your body, let your eyes gaze up, let your tongue press into the roof of your mouth. Feel the transformation of denseness at the base of the body to pure energetic potential just beyond the crown of the head. Great, release. Okay. We'll just do an easy shoulder, arm, upper body movement. So elbows draw back. And then they cross in front of you, elbows draw back, and then you reach your elbows up. So back, cross, back, up, back, cross, back, up. You might be feeling the good benefits of getting a little more oxygen in with each breath. And draw the elbows back. Engage Mulband. Lift up through the chest. And draw the base of the skull back so that the chin naturally has a spot to drop down into. Feel the transformation of mass into pure energy as you experience it moving through your own spinal column. Great, release. We've been sitting cross-legged for a second. Let's give our knees a little bit of a break. Go ahead and come up. You can extend your legs out. Get as much height underneath your hips as you need to, so that your spine can be straight rather than rounded. Push the backs of your knees towards the floor and flex your feet, especially that pinky toe side of your feet, towards your face. Put your hands on the floor on either side of your hips and a little bit behind you, and push down so that your chest, your belly, and your upper torso is encouraged to go forward. And this puts the stretch into your thighs, the backs of your legs. Keep feeling as though your sits bones are moving in the opposite direction. They're moving back behind. So let me describe that better. Feel like your sits bones are moving behind you. They're trying to get away from your feet. Your heels are trying to get away from your sits bones. There should be a line of awareness, of energy, of strong sensation throughout the entire underneath side, the back side of your legs. And if you're not feeling that, reach out more through your heels, reach out more through your sits bones. And or start to walk your hands further forward, let your torso come further forward. Good. While we're here, let's go ahead and do a little with our legs opened out to the sides. Inhale up, exhale, go down. Actually, you can do this the same way we started the other one, fingertips just a little bit behind and to the sides. And use the strength of your arms to push your whole torso forward. Backs of the legs are, especially the knees, are pushing to the floor, maybe even to the extent that your heels lift off the ground. Now get that movement of the sits bones away from the feet, and the heels reaching away from the sits bones, and then work with however far forward you can move into this. After you've taken a few breaths that way, go ahead and pivot so that your navel's pointing towards one leg and experience the stretch over there. Come back through center, get your navel over the other leg, feel that over that way. Great, come back to neutral. Bring your legs back up, and you can either sit on your heels or sit cross-legged still. Interlace the fingers. Actually, let's do that exact same thing one more time. Fingertips back behind you, little to the side. Press down through the fingertips so that you get a maximum stretch of the front of your chest. Squeeze your shoulder blades like you're trying to get them to touch behind you. And if it's all right for your neck, go ahead and feel like you're stretching and lengthening the front. Keep stretching and lengthening. Close your mouth and feel your chin stretch away from your chest. Great, take your time, bring your head back to neutral. Interlace your fingers in front of your body. Inhale up, exhale down. You can follow your hands with your eyes if you like. Keep going and focus on really feeling the breath. Use a light ujjayi. Feel the breath in your throat. A little bit longer. So at this point, you should start to feel some heat, some warmth or tingling in your throat. And we're gonna use that sensation in just a moment for another practice. So make your breath as raspy as you can so that you start to feel that warming, that circulation, that chi in your throat. Inhale up. All right, work with Mul Bandh. Work with Jalandhara Bandh. Find peace in that space. Exhale, release. Sit any way that feels comfortable. And we're going to just start shoulder shrugs, so your hands are resting on your thighs. Inhale your shoulders up. Exhale, draw them down. Inhale up. Exhale, draw down. So just as if we were doing Jalandhara Bandha, each time you're on that exhale, go ahead and give the thyroid area a nice little squeeze, or that Adam's apple area a little squish. And each time that you're inhaling, feel as though you're bringing expansion, stretching, opening into that same area. And inhale. Work with Mool Bandh, work with Jalandhara Bandh. Ooh, good. Release. Okay, sit any way that feels good. If you need to do something for your legs, you need to stretch them out and bend them a little bit, do that. All right. So next we're going to work with purification practice. So that term in Sanskrit is Shuddhi. So we're going to do Vishuddhi Shuddhi. It's super simple. Go ahead and start an Ujjayi breath. So that constriction in your throat that allows there to be a light snoring sound, a raspy sound to your breath. Now, most often we do Ujjayi at a level to where we could hear it, but someone next to us may not be able to hear it, so fairly soft. We're really trying to get physical awareness in the throat right now. So if you need to make that sound a little bit stronger so that you start to feel heat or sensation in your throat, do so. For this next little bit, we're also going to take the tongue all the way into Lalani chakra, into the soft palate at the back of your throat, so stimulating the pituitary. And notice that as you stretch out the inhale, stretch out the exhale, you can really build that sense of heat or sensation in the throat. All right, now do your best. Use your control, use your willpower to have all of your attention be in your throat right now. When you inhale, feel as though your breath, the purification, is moving through the front of your throat, right into the center of your spinal column. If it helps you, put a couple of fingers in the front on your Adam's apple thyroid area, and then 2 other fingers directly behind that in the spine. Feel the inhale moving from the front fingers to the back, and the exhale moving from the back fingers to the front. Use your willpower, the maximum ability to keep your mind focused just in this area, feeling the breath move in through the front. And then pushing it from the back to the front on the exhale. The visualization for this level of consciousness through the lineage of teachers that I use, the Bihar school, you would see this as a purple lotus, a 16-petaled lotus flower. But you might also imagine that in the shape that we imagine complex atom, with those spiraling electron orbits of pure potential. Normally, when we do Jalandhara Bandha, we are sealing the breath. We are keeping any air from moving in or out. In this practice, we are breathing, but you might want to move the neck, the chest, the chins towards Jalandhara Bandha to enhance the slight compression in the front of the throat. And just a tiny bit longer. If you like, once you've inhaled in and your breath is, and your awareness are back into the spinal column, behind the thyroid, you can mentally say to yourself, Vishuddhi, Vishuddhi, or Vishuddhi. Reminding yourself throughout this experience, you are not the distracted component of your mind searching out for other things to pay attention to. You are the willpower, you are the observational mind that can control where your mind goes. Continually bring it back to the practice, to the mental chant, to the visualization. Great, and then relax out of the practice. I should have mentioned at the beginning, we're going to want something sturdy to elevate our hips on. If you already have something handy, then you can just sit and meditate. If you don't have something handy, go ahead and get it. I'm going to use 2 large, thick books. So I'm going to me get those guys ready. Naturally, a yoga block is ideal. And if you have a good deal of arm strength and can hold a light inversion for several minutes, then you don't even need anything to stack yourself up on. So we're going to, we'll come on into this nice and easy, using bridge pose to get the books underneath our hips. So coming onto your back, using the strength of your legs, pushing down through your feet. Now we're going to secure our support underneath the sacrum. So there's a few things about this practice. The legs are going to be straight up in the air, and you want to do your best to ensure that they are straight up. Unlike candlestick pose or shoulder stand, the throat is not compressed here. And this is largely a meditation practice with your body in this mudra. And we're going to start using a visualization that we use with the breath. We're going to have the breath in 3 parts: an inhale, a hold, and an exhale. During the inhale, we're going to feel a warm bit of nectar. You could imagine it like warm honey that is in your spine, directly behind your navel, behind Manipur. So just for a moment, as you rest here, have a sense of warm nectar. You could perhaps imagine that it dropped down through your belly button into your spine. Feel that warm nectar there. And then the next time you inhale, feel like it's dripping down your spine. In this case, down is towards your throat. So feel that warm nectar moving along your spine as though gravity's taking it all the way to the pit of your throat. Hold the breath there and feel the nectar cool. And then the exhale is going to be to the top back of the head. Go ahead and pause for a second. Take one hand up to the top of your head. And if you keep going, walking it back, you'll feel a tiny little divot at the very top back. It's the fontanelle spot on a baby. And this is, if you can have a sense of a pinpoint spot there, bindu, where we're going to feel that final bit of nectar move towards there. So bringing our attention down to the navel point area, to Manipur in the spine, get a sense of warmth. Imagine that there's nectar, and as you inhale, feel the nectar move along the spine, all the way into the pit of the throat, that area that should have some good awareness from the practices we've done. Feel it cooling there. And then, as though the breath is powering it, shoot that nectar up to the top back of your head, to bindu. Attention comes immediately to Manipur, to the area behind the navel, warm nectar. Feel it pool at the throat. Shoot it up to bindu. And back to Manipur. Using Ujjayi. Wonderful.
You can enhance the practice by having your tongue in Lilani chakra, so the tongue all the way up as far and back as it will go into the soft palate, where it's creating some stimulation to the pituitary. Energetically moving from the throat all the way to Bindu. Legs still straight up. Keep going, you're doing a wonderful job. Keep going. So however many thousands of years ago that the yogis developed this awareness of mass and the relationship between mass and energy, mass and space. It took many thousands of years for those same concepts to come to fruition in Western philosophy and physics. The second component of the general theory of relativity is that space, or now in modern physics we call it space-time, is bent by mass and energy. That the space-time continuum is impacted by great amounts of mass and similarly by great amounts of energy. So that light and gravity are impacted by the energetic power and the mass of the sun. Let's do two more. Great, and then bend your knees. Put your feet on the floor, press down. Use the strength of your legs to take your weight off of your support. Great. And then we're going to use that same support at the level of the shoulders. Might take you a minute to get set up. You may also want a cushion. We're going to do a supported fish pose. So your shoulders have the support of your block. And then you can use a cushion underneath the back of your head and feel expansion in your throat. If it feels good for you, you can continue with Ujjayi. as you relax for another couple of minutes, have the experience of moving to the furthest extremes of the mass energy interchange. Feel yourself with energy at its furthest expanse. As we make the leap from the 5th chakra to the 6th, 7th, and Bindu next week, we move into pure potentiality. But in order to do so, you need to let go of your sense of limitation. Our physical limitation helps us move around in this world of matter and mass. But it is also an encumbrance when we move to pure potential. All the ways that we think that things are impossible it's time to let those go. Move into pure potentiality, pure energy. When we get to that spot, we're into magic, into the miraculous. Wonderful. We're going to do a very lovely, short chanting meditation to end today. So go ahead and start to stretch and move however you like to come out of this. You might want to move through your fingers, your wrists, toes, your ankles, your elbows. You can roll to one side and move your blocks, cushions out of the way. Do some twisting movements with your spine. If you want to rub the soles of your feet and palms of the hands together, do that. Each of the bandhas is associated with ways that all humans get hung up in their personal evolution. Down at the 1st chakra, it's about personal safety. The ways that what we need to move beyond so that we feel safe and secure and grounded all the time. At Udana Prana, it's about our emotional connections. And I don't talk about it often, but at Jalandhara Bandha, it's about overcoming our desire to be magical, to use magic as a way of having power over other people. And it sounds kooky, so that's why I don't really mention it very often. But when you get to this realm of pure potential and energy, magical things do happen. Not only in the world of yoga, but in the world of physics. So the final hurdle for us humans as we evolve is the ways that we become magical. We have to avoid becoming attached to those. All right, and so for our meditation, we're going to chant the Bij mantra, the seed mantra that's for Vishuddhi. And that's hum, hum. You want to feel the vibration of that mantra come from the chakra in your throat. See what hand mudra works for you today. You can use the one of wisdom with the index finger and thumb tips touching. You may want to have your hands, one resting inside the other in your lap, maybe in prayer pose, or possibly even fingers interlaced underneath the chin at the throat. Here we go. Hum. 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 Continue with the practice. Let your hands come down and rest in Gyan Mudra. Move to the sound of the mantra being a whisper. Continue with the practice and experience the mantra as being pure energy, pure vibration. You'll hear it inside your head, inside your throat. Vishuddhi Chakra.
tiny little spot is like the proton and neutron at the center of an atom. And the vibration of hum moves out like the electrons orbiting around that, expanding outward, outward, outward. All of the space in between pure potential. Feel the connection of the energy of the vibration of the chant merge with the infinite energy in the universe. Access your pure potential. Let your eyes roll up. Let your tongue press into Vishuddhi for the last little bit. Expand. Move into pure potential. Feel your connection to infinite possibility. All of the things, all of the reasons that are given for things being impossible are simply learned. Unlearn them right now. Feel your connection to the center of the sun, where tons of energy is being created every second. Feel that transformation of mass into energy. Feel your ability to access it. Know that that connection is always there. Every time you visit, the stronger that connection becomes. Allow your eyes to relax, your tongues to relax, the mantra to relax, the throat to relax. Feel your consciousness descending slowly down through your body, through your spine. Feel the condensation of energy into mass. Drop your focus down into the base of your body. Feel the connection to the earth. Feel yourself as a miraculous connection between matter and energy. Bring your hands together at your chest. And let's chant one long Satnam to end. Satnam. Let's bow to the potential that each of us has. Sat Nam. Namaste. Thank you. See you next week. Oh, and this practice is dedicated to Adrian.